I'm calling the Beach Haven meeting to order on November the 14th at 7 o'clock. And Mr. White, would you please lead the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the Beach Haven Municipal Building and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Caxton.
Here.
Mr. Lynch.
Here.
Mr. Maxwell.
Here.
Mr. White.
Here.
Mayor Davis. Here. We have a presentation to start with.
Let me just give some background on this. Flood Barrier America is a firm that's distributing a product I became familiar with through Bonnie Wells. It's the Damn Easy Flood Barrier, and she used it in the last storm. She said it worked to keep the flooding out of her store. This company is now going to become a distributor for Damn Easy, as well as having a whole series of flood barriers. This is more informative, okay? I'm not endorsing them, and I expect everybody to do their due diligence if they buy it. But let me just introduce them. Dave Swan, Managing Director, and Zachary Cutler, who are the owners of the firm. They sell a variety of products from different manufacturers. I'll turn it over to them. Because you might want to move to the front just to see the presentation.
Thank you, everyone. We actually, I guess we'll start with a video of two barriers that we think will work well in the area. One is the one Damn Easy, which is sort of a door jamb, and another you may have seen on your way in. It's a rapid deployment barrier, and it uses the floodwater itself for structural integrity. But we'll start with a video of how Damn Easy works, and then we'll go through a bunch of our other options.
Installation in 3 steps. 1. Position and door reveal. 2. Extend side panels.
Can you increase the volume?
Wow.
3. Into the exit. Flood protection remains.
Yeah. I don't know where that other music is coming from. Yeah, let's rewind that. Sorry, I don't know what that is.
You want to demonstrate this way you're coming up? Why don't you come up here, I'll show you the Damn Easy one. They're looking for that. It's an overlap.
Well, this one is one of the benefits of tube barrier. I think it's in this video. Is most rapid deployment barriers. They have a problem when the water gets to the top of the barriers. A lot of the rapid deployment ones, they entirely collapse. Tube barrier, unlike the others, if the water goes over the top, it just continues to trickle over the top, but it retains the water that's already held.
What's in it? Is it water filled?
I'm sorry?
Is that what water filled?
Yes.
Okay.
It uses the flood water itself. You don't have to use other water, source other water. The water, the flood water goes over the flap and into those holes.
Yeah.
The yellow bands are battens, like on a sail, and they hold the tube in a tube shape before the water gets in there. And then once the water's in there, it gives structural integrity to the tube, like concrete.
And then it leaks out when you're done with it.
Yeah, there's a sample at the back.
Oh, okay.
And afterwards, you can come take a look at it and feel it and see what it actually does. The product is tested in Netherlands, to Delft, actually Delft University. Very, very, very well tested. 2.5 years, 3 years of testing just to make sure. We have other videos of it impacting, like with a log, literally like a telephone pole. A lot of areas out there that are temporary barriers are water filled. When they overtop, they create a neutral buoyancy, whereby they'll lift, they'll start moving. These barriers, on the other hand, when they do overtop, as this shows here, they'll stay put. You can pump from behind it. Very innovative technology. And likewise, when it's all finished, when the water's receded, it just literally drains out of it. You wait, you wash it down with a hose, push it back into its box, and it's done.
What seals it on the end?
It's actually sealed on each end. Successively, they come in 10 meter and 30 meter segments. The version we have here uses Velcro on the sides, but the new version actually uses a binding system that's actually used on Zodiac boats. So the actual zipper mechanisms from Zodiac boats, that's what's actually used to join.
I'm talking about if at some point you're coming up against a structure or something.
We've got attachments that go to the walls.
Yeah.
In a lot of instances, you'll actually rise up on, as they did there, that's the test facility in the So on hills and things of that nature, you'll actually go up the hill with it. Now, the leading edge of these, the only issue with them is that it has to be held down at the outset. Once the water actually has gone over top of it and started to fill the actual shell, clamshell at the rear of it, the down pressure holds the whole structure together at that point. Many different applications, many different installations. Some, we're actually working in New York at a couple of locations that have got multiple garage openings side by side. Now, instead of going in front of the buildings, because this is a canvas and it can be damaged by somebody who's just an idiot and wants to do something. So if we put it inside the garage doors, we can actually have hold-down plates mounted in the floor so that the maintenance staff there can deploy this unit right across 55 feet of garage door openings, but from the inside. So that when it actually fills, it'll fill this on the inside, it'll go through the garage doors they have right now, go into this area, which is all concrete on all sides. This mates up to the sides of the walls and everything of that nature, so there's no permeation from the sides either. Fills, recedes, you turn around, they drain it, done. Very quick deploy. So at 50 feet, takes all of about 15 minutes to pull. That's it.
Each one of those big plastic boxes I see on the forklift
Yeah?
30
holds
meters.
how, 30 meters.
Yeah. It's
That's
about
90 feet.
100 feet. Yeah. 9.5 inches per, so.
You can fit about 1,000 feet of storage in 2 parking spots.
Mhm.
It's a very resilient product, which is actually was our principal product that we got engaged with when we first started doing barriers in North America. Very well put together. 40 cm heights, 70 cm. We've already discussed with them about expanding to 1 meter. We're meeting with a Polytechnic Institute called Rensselaer in Troy, New York, about adapting it for production in the United States and actually increasing the height. So,
We can protect garage surfaces. You know, I remember I talked to Kevin from Easy Auto the other day, and he had like 11 inches of water in his garage the other day, and he was wondering what can I do to keep that 11 inches out of my garage. Something like this, if he deployed it and knowing the storm coming, would help protect the space from the garage getting flooded. So that's one of the products they have. They have about 30 products that they offer in terms of flood control devices, and there's a book that they're passing around. The only other one, this is the Damn Easy product that we can just put it over here. The
To stand up possibly to see it.
basically what you do is the sides of it expand very easily. There's a ratchet here. You just crank down on the ratchet. And it gets tight. And then there is a bladder underneath it. And what you do is you just pump up the bladder.
And I love the fact that you could just take it away. He's like a baby game.
And the bladder starts filling up around the perimeter.
Now, do they come in multiple ways? Or is it just a single one?
We asked Don to help us show how a layperson would interact with it. Instead of demonstrating ourselves. So this is real life. This is-
Once it gets into the green zone here, the bladder is essentially inflated and makes it tight. And then you just turn this way.
So a question, have any of
And it locks it in place.
the insurance companies, how do they feel about it as far as it being some type of mitigant?
Well, with insurers, just for example, and my basis and our company basis is all insurer-related contractors. Between Belfour, 30 Forensics, my own experience with the insurance industry. We've talked with several of the underwriters, and they will take an engineered assessed plan, and they will utilize an engineered assessed plan to reduce, the way they word it is to look at the potential to reduce deductibles, increase the value of insurance, and actually insure where there's no insurance available prior to. So, but you can't just be a contractor and walk in the door and say, I've got this, I'm going to stick it on, it's going to work. It's got to go through engineering. It has to actually come with a plan, a program, to put it in place. Our group, part of the basis of our group is that we don't do things unless they're engineered. We brought this product on because it's a great DIY situation. It works in certain instances. We utilize it for secondary protections for elevators. That's really one of the principal goals of us when we brought it on board. We've got fixed barriers that are used for doors, windows, all sorts of things. You see the second one there, the heritage barrier? We're installing these in New York as we speak.
They have a bladder on the bottom?
No, strictly gasketed. They're all fixed point. They're held by basically anchors into solid members like concrete, block, poured block, tyndall, other sorts of areas that can actually hold a bracket, hold something. Once again, we don't install this unless we engineer where it's going. So people who've got installations above, and there's a lot of installations here where there's pavers. Pavers are on sand. Sand is permeable. I can't put a barrier on top of that. I need to harden that, as they say. I'll harden it by putting concrete underneath. And then I can put my barriers on top of that. Even this won't do nothing on top of pavers. Waste of time. So,
Those come in different widths.
no, this actually comes as it stands. This is the only height it comes in. It has been engineered to actually protect from 30.5 inches in width to 43. That's the total little expansive. It's a 13-inch movement. Two other companies produced a similar design of barrier. One of which has been around since 2000, currently failing in a lot of locations in Miami and such because of salt water. And these other two units are similar, and I do say similar in the fact that they ratchet up, but they are not with the same capacity as what this has. They don't have the same movement. They usually move only 4 inches. This moves 13. So this, for DIY residential application, this is a marvelous situation.
I got a garage door, a door next to the garage that's going into the building.
Yeah.
The should have pulled. You can double this in one.
So this would go in like so, and as you can note, on the sides, there's these grooves. So for all intents and purposes, what happens is the barrier itself fits into the slot. So what we're expanding into. So say you've got a double door set approximately 6 feet to 7 feet on width. So this would go in the middle.
Oh, yeah, you used 2.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm saying, yeah, you used 2 of them.
Yeah, you use 2 of them basically. There's an anchor. So what happens is and once again, I need hardened, a receiver on the bottom. I need a hardened area that will receive and hold the actual anchoring pin on the bottom. It's inside the unit itself right now, we can show you that. It's about this long, but it's actually poured in epoxy cement. So then what happens that when you get ready to deploy it, that stays there. There's a pin cover that covers the top of this. Pull the pin cover out, put this down, just thread this into it, that stays. And it's gasketed in the bottom, like as you can see.
And it's okay with salt water?
Yeah. All this is, this is why, what we did with, what we found in Miami, was that one of the other companies, we were in the process of replacing a lot of their articles because they're failing. All their guts are made out of things that are susceptible to salt water. So they're all going, and they're not replacing them with anodized or galvanized or stainless steel. All our product is. All the insides are made. The inside's made in Germany, pumping systems made in Germany. The majority of the plastics, they're molded in China. The valve, or should I say the actual inner tube, this is basically like a bicycle inner tube that goes around the perimeter, that's actually done in Czechoslovakia. So the working parts are all very...
And you can replace the inner tube after 2 or 3 uses of exposure to salt water. The inner tube is easily attached and reattached. So you just bring it back and forth. It just has 2 hooks on the top and...
Yeah, there's a little shank, the inside and the bottom here. There's a little area down here that's got a SharkBite connector in it. So that goes right down to the bottom. That's the center of the inner tube. You just pinch it, pull the inner tube out, replace it. It takes about 5 minutes tops, and that's if you really take your time. That's it.
Those are for sale now.
Yep.
How much?
Free shipping on Amazon?
We tried to put them on Amazon, but we thought you don't want it. So we have them for sale on our site, but not only we had talked about the opportunity that if we have a mass amount of sales or a group of people want to purchase in the area, we would give you a discount for being on the island here.
You know, one of the things too that we talked about earlier, we walked around a lot of the stores today and looked at them. The one thing about this product, I mean, if you have a door that opens out, it's a problem. I mean, Bonnie, when she did hers, because her doors open out at the store, she put it on the inside of the store and it worked. That's what she told us tonight when we were talking to her. So she put it on the inside of the frame and it worked for her on the inside of the frame. If you have a door that opens out, obviously it's not going to work because you've got to still be able to protect it here. Like I said, it works for elevators. This other thing works for garage doors. They have a variety of products. The one thing we're going to suggest is a bunch of business cards there. Probably want to work with Barbara, and at least while I'm in office until January. If you have any interest in it, get in touch with me. What they're willing to do is they're willing to come down. Maybe get 5 or 6 small projects to look at the stores, to look at the things, they'll do an assessment. Because some of the things that they talked about is, I mean, you gotta look at not just the base, but you gotta look at the perimeter around the door frame. And you talked about, a lot of the stuff we saw was hollow, and you would have to put some material inside of it.
Well, exactly. Just for an example, if you've got a doorway, if you've got a building that's got what seems to be solid strata behind it, reality is that if the water rises too high, stays that high for too long, certainly will stop the water here. But the water's gonna come in there. I think one of your newer buildings, we looked at one of your newer buildings today, that had water come in it.
Yes.
And I have an idea where that actually is coming from, but it's from a whole different thing. So if you have a brick facing, you've got vents on it. Potentially with pressurized water, the water will go underneath and go into those vents, and it'll actually fill in the gut.
There's nothing like there aren't too many products that right off the shelf works. I mean, you're gonna have to make some modifications to the door frame or some modifications to the plate that the product's gonna go into to make it work. So, but again, if we had 5 or 6 projects, whether they're residential products or whether they're building products, these guys are willing to come back and spend some time and come back with their recommendations to you guys and give you an idea of what it might cost for you to do it. So that's where it is. They're gonna hang around probably for at least another hour in the lobby if you wanna see them. Talk to them, there's a book being passed around. Like I said, there's 30 different products that they offer for a variety of different circumstances. You know, because there's, one product doesn't fit everything. I mean, it's different situations for different conditions.
It's the
So,
basis of our company is exactly that.
they don't manufacture, they sell. They're a representative
vet them.
for the products.
Yeah.
And they
Good
work
ones.
doing the engineering for the installation, but they're not contractors, they do not do the install.
We're
Okay.
a coalition of experts.
Any
What you need
questions?
to do, what you need to do, we spend a lot of time with this. I think that other than Doc on the Box, we may be the only other floodgate building in town, and every business is floor elevations below the flood. My insurance was $10,000 a year for flood insurance. When we did the floodgates, it went down to $1,600, I think. But we couldn't find them. Building inspectors have no clue where to get
Exactly.
them. So you need to talk to the construction code officials in every town.
Yeah.
There's only 2 engineers on this island, Nelke Tiska and Yoder. There may be another one, I don't know, but they don't know, as we talk to them. Our architect is Greg Burley. He's supposed to be the largest architect on the island. He doesn't know anything about these floodgates. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I had to have something custom made. I've got aluminum channels that stick out from the doors 3 inches to catch your clothes when you walk by.
Right.
And they're cumbersome to put on and take off. And this is simple. We didn't know about this, but I have 2 project managers in my office.
Right.
Put them online. You're not coming up online. So when you type in floodgates, you're nowhere to be found.
Right.
So you got to optimize your web engine, whatever you're doing. You need to talk to the architects, talk to the construction code officials, and talk to the engineers. You get a lot of business. That's how you do it. Thanks, that was great.
Sounds like a dreaming opportunity.
That was,
to me.
well, that was one of the reasons we formed the company is exactly that. It's so hard to find, one of these products in this country. Most of them are made overseas, and even the ones that are made here, like you said, they're very small companies that are, struggling and starting and barely, findable on the internet. And unless you know where to look or what to do or even what you're looking for, a lot of people just give up when they go to the internet looking for flood solutions. And we're revamping our website. We just did a new commerce site for the US and Canada with Damn Easy, and we're ramping up the internet presence, but it is very difficult to find flood products.
So, again, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
They'll be around in the back of the room or in the lobby, talk to you after the meeting, or if you want to walk back there and spend some time dropping over there. I got the cards, pick up their business cards on the way out, go to their website, take a look and see what's available. Again, it's, it's good for residential, it's good for commercial spaces, it's a variety of situations. But I think, like I said, you just can't buy a product off the shelf and just put it down. You got to make sure it's going to work. And that's the intent of these guys, is to really make sure it's going to work. They don't want to sell you a product that's not going to fulfill your requirements. So, and that's what it is. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Cash receipts in the current fund account for the period October 1 to October 31, 2018 were $2,527,875.95. Cash disbursement in the current fund account for the month of October totaled $5,550,854.34. The cash balance in the current fund account as of this period totaled $11,737,843.88. Cash receipts in the water utility account for this period, October 1st to October 31st, 2018, were $507,417.99. Cash disbursements in the water utility account for the month of October totaled $84,541.64, and the cash balance in the water utility account as of October 31st was $3,337,122.80, submitted by our treasurer, Shari Roller. I have minutes for approval without formal reading of September 20th, 2018 agenda meeting, a September 20th executive session, October 4th agenda meeting, October 9th regular meeting, an October 18th agenda meeting, and an October 18th executive session.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Ordinance 2018-32C, an ordinance amending Chapter 77, curfew of the Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, as it pertains to beaches, amending the curfew to include beaches for children under 18. Final reading.
This is final reading, so I'm opening the floor to public comment. Anybody would like to come up and speak? Anybody? Okay, I close the floor to public comment. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve 32C.
Second.
Mr. Katskas?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2018-33C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 27, Personnel, Article 2, Personnel Policies of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, updating the personnel policies as recommended by the New Jersey MEL. Final reading.
Again, this is final reading. If anybody would like to come forward and speak to this, now's your chance. Therefore, I close the floor. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Mr. Katskas?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2018-35C, an ordinance amending Chapter 145, Pickleball Courts Municipal of the Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to establish fees. First reading.
This is the first reading, so there's no public comment. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Katskas?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2018-36C, an ordinance amending Chapter 199, Vehicles and Traffic, Part 1, General Regulations, Article 10, Schedules of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, for time limit on parallel parking in front of the Borough Hall during business hours. First reading.
15-minute time limit, 15-minute amount of space to get in and out. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 36A.
Second.
Mr. Katskas?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2018-37C, an ordinance amending Chapter 199, Vehicles and Traffic of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, in order to regulate parking for electric vehicles. First reading.
Again, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the resolutions as submitted.
Thank you.
Second.
Mr. Katskas?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes, and I believe we have 2 electric parking spots.
There's 2 locations, there's 2 spots for each location.
Okay,
So
2
There's
spots
really
for each
4 areas to charge. All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. 239, returning park bonds. 241, reappointing Stacy Kerr, Esquire, as municipal magistrate. 244, canceling water charges. 245, consenting to the issuance of amusement license for Mr. Tees for 2019. 247, amending an employment agreement between the Borough of Beach Haven and Ed Novitsky, building inspector. 248, returning piling bonds. 249, returning street opening bonds. 250, returning remaining escrow. 252, releasing performance bonds and inspection fees. 253, releasing performance bonds. 254, amending a professional services agreement with CME Associates as administrative agent for the administration of affordable units and certifying additional funds. 255, executing a shared service agreement with Ocean County for participation in the driving while intoxicated enforcement program, drug recognition expert call-out program, and the Move Over law enforcement program. 256, approving change order number 15, dated August 29, 2018, with the Beach Haven Municipal Building. 257 is updating the floodplain management plan. And finally, 258, appointing Mark Frieda as tax assessor.
Would anybody in council like to remove any of these for separate consideration?
No.
No.
And therefore, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the resolutions as read?
Second.
Mr. Kexis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. And I'd just like to mention that we are having a new tax assessor. We have a lot of really good resumes. We interviewed a lot of people. The nice thing about this person's going to be here more, so it'll be easier if you have an issue with your taxes to get an appointment to see this person. And they'll be here on Saturdays as well in the summer, which will help people that are taxpayers that don't live here. Just wanted to let everybody know. All right, great.
I have a bill list tonight in the amount of $1,200,529.80.
Has everybody read the minutes?
Okay, so that-
Minutes, bills?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
No comment.
okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to accept the bills as submitted?
Second.
Mr. Kaxis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. All right, now I'm opening the floor to public comment. If you want to comment, come up and state your name and address.
I will comment. John Walker, 219 2nd Street. I just wanted to thank Mr. Cactus and Mr. White for the service they've done. I know it's not about the money, that's for sure. But if I walk around town and I look at the accomplishments of this entire council, I am thrilled to see what's happened. You walk from Taylor Avenue, you see the park is redone there, the bayfront is redone. We see a beautiful park now in front of the school, which was always an eyesore for me. I look at beachfront, at Center Street, outstanding building. The building that we're in here, Walsh Field, Veterans Memorial Park, even down to Nelson Avenue, where there's been a lot of improvements. And I think that this council has done a great job, although I don't always agree. I always look at it as being what positive things have happened, and also bringing developers into our town, which has always been a challenge. Now we have some projects going on, which was quite a challenge for years. Other towns and communities were really beating us out, and we have a lot of positive things to look forward to. And I do thank you both for your service, and I look forward to our new council members and our incumbents as well. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Nobody? Okay, nobody else wants to comment, then I will close the floor to public comment. And we have final comments by council. We'll start with Mr. White down there.
Okay. I'd like to thank those people who participated in Veterans Day, that took the time to come out and share the time to honor our service members. I guess that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, you did a great job with the welcoming speech.
Thank you, Dan.
Chuck?
I would just like to remind everybody that the new gazebo, the jetty gazebo, is going up down at Taylor Avenue Park. It's coming along very well. It's being done, it's being constructed by our employees, I believe. And,
With perennial homes, yeah.
yeah, with perennial homes. So please go down and take a look. And another successful project started, hopefully be completed soon.
It really is exciting, and that park down there is gorgeous. It really has just evolved in the last 8 years. It's just amazing. And it's-
Pretty soon we'll have a lifeguard there, Nancy.
Hopefully, see what we can do.
Beach bass person here.
We need to find a place for a bay park, a bay beach.
Well, we talked about doing something down there. There are still possibilities there. Okay, don't.
I have nothing other than to say thank you for the people that came tonight, and hopefully some of these products might help you. That's it.
I really don't have anything much to say. I'm really disappointed that the Green Acres bill didn't pass. I think that it's a shame because in the long run, I think taxpayers would save money. And I'm going to try it one more time. And I'm thinking about trying to get a public communications firm to help market this. I just don't think people understand it really will save money for the taxpayers if we have this. And it just gives us an opportunity when something comes up that could conceivably, that we think is protected, but we know in the past things that we thought were protected are now built on. It gives us a chance to get this with state money, and it just really, really very unfortunate, but I'm not giving up. I'm still going to fight for this. I just want to mention this Saturday at the Long Beach Island Foundation, the topic is going to be on flooding and living shorelines and that sort of thing. And I'm in the panel, so it's going to be me and Angela Anderson and Amy Williams, I believe the three of us. So if you get a chance to go down there, that's a good program. They have it every Saturday. They have some different scientific issues. And you know, we all want to keep this island as ecologically stable as possible and do whatever we can. I want to thank Don and Jim for all their hard work. We'll wait for next time for that. But Don has really taken the ball with this flooding issue, and thank you for organizing this today. I think it was very, very helpful.
Thank you.
That's it. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Bye.
Aye.